Welcome to Coffee with Tara. I am here today with the infamous Sincerely Collins, taking time out of his day to be on Coffee with Tara. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I was just so humbled and honored that you would come on today. You were very well known in Arizona and in the States. Your last video that I checked out had over 100,000 views, which is like mind-blowing.
Thank you.
How does that make you feel, just knowing the following and the support you have from people in Arizona?
Well, you know, it's something that I really took pride in is being someone who's literally from the state, like not an implant. You know what I mean? Like there's so many implants from so many other states.
Yeah.
You know, as far as Phoenix is concerned, you know, it's one of the last states that was.
You're a native?
Yeah.
I never meet natives. That's crazy.
Yeah, born and raised. Dobson High School, grew up Mesa Public Schools. Yeah.
Wow.
Born and raised. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like when it came to Phoenix and the representation of it, you know, the biggest artists and really the best artists, most of them weren't from here.
Yeah.
Most of them are implants. So I felt like it was my responsibility to be like, okay, I'm the only one really in the upper tier of artists that like really can say that they've been here from the start and really know what's going on, and have lived on both sides of Phoenix, you know what I mean? The east side and the west side, and know both lanes, and like, you know, so I just felt like it was my responsibility. As far as how it makes me feel, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you don't really even know you're in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't even know it's happening. Like you really have to kind of just like take moments to stop and be like, okay, what's happening? What's happened this last year?
Yeah.
Oh man, let me emotionalize with that. Let me emotionalize with this. Let me emotionalize with that. You know what I mean? Just like really just trying to take the time almost to like meditate with the experience. Yeah. Because you don't really feel it when it's happening. You know? So it's just a very, it just gives me energy. You know what I mean? It uplifts me, and it just makes me want to just push even harder to do what I do for the state, to do it for the country, to do it for the world. You know what I mean?
I love that, and just seeing like clips from your shows, all the people singing your lyrics, and then the crowd is just like, it inspires me to go hard. And I think it's awesome you're someone from Arizona. And one thing I respect about you, and I get why they call you Sincerely Collins, is you're sincere to who you are.
Yes.
You're just authentic, and you're not trying to be like everybody else or every other artist. You're just true to you.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's very, very important. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate that. You observed that. I think it's very important. I think it's really the most important thing when it comes to any type of expression, because everything is art, you know, like the world is our stage, the world is our canvas. So I just think it's very important to carry yourself as the unique expression of a human being that you are.
Wow,
you
that's
know,
deep.
and sometimes it's hard to really find that, like to really find yourself and to know who you are. But once you do, and if you actually like take the time and the patience to like, it's really all about intention. When you have the intention to find yourself, you will find yourself. And just, you know, it just really came naturally to me. I never really had that gene in my body that was just like, well, I mean, maybe when I was younger, but like, I never really had that gene in my body that was just like, man, I just want to like fit in and be cool and like, well, you know what I mean? Like it was always,
I can relate to that.
It was always like, yo, like, I know you guys like that, but I swear to God, I have something to offer you guys. You know what I mean? And you guys I want to help you guys. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah. So it's just, you know, there's a lot of different emotion in it.
Yeah. I can respect that for sure. So what inspires you to write? Where do you get like your creative ideas? Are you in a certain zone, or do you go somewhere special? What inspires you?
There's different processes. There's different processes for pulling inspiration, for already being inspired and using that inspiration. I guess one of the main things that I like to do is really just reflect on music that I like, and listen to like what it is that my intention is with whatever it is I'm working on in that time period, and then I'll pull from things that inspire me, and just to get me going, you know what I mean? just to get the juices flowing. Like, oh man, I wish I thought of that. I wish I thought of that. You know.
So I was on your social media, not to stalk you or anything, but you're very creative. Like I see that you like art and different things like that. Do you feel like that kind of inspires you as well? Yeah,
that's another thing I was gonna say is like art, movies. I love, one thing that I like to do, I did during my Destroyer album. I don't know if you listened to that one, but during the Destroyer album, we like to watch movies before we would actually work on music. So like
that's dope.
Because we were actually trying to make the music sound like soundtracks to these movies.
Yeah.
So they were all very big and theatrical.
That's so next level, you guys.
Now that I think about that, I really want to try that again.
Yeah.
I want to see what that was. But yeah, like we watched a lot of movies. Like one of my favorites was Attack the Block. That was me and Tyler's like go-to movie. The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Batman.
Batman.
I've watched that movie probably like 10 times.
I've probably watched that movie 10,000 times. That's like my go-to sick movie. You know, when you're sick and you have that movie.
Yeah.
There's that, and then like The Matrix. Like I have some go-to movies that just inspire the hell out of me, and like just really inspire what my whole message is about, and that is be you and fight for what you are. You know what I mean? Wow. Fight for who it is you want to be, and fight for what it is you believe in. You know?
Yeah. Wow. So your song Possible, like I had chills listening to it because I feel like it is such an important song, and especially for like the misfits or those who haven't had it made or something. What was the heart behind that song for you when you were writing it?
Well, I wanted to make something that connected. I wanted to make something that connected through the whole spectrum, from age 1 to age 70. I wanted something that was really that universal.
Yeah.
And it was tough, you know what I mean? Like that's a real balancing act. You know what I mean? To try to like figure that out. You know what I mean? And it still be cool.
Yeah.
So when I wrote that song, it was really just, it was like the full all-out expression of exactly what it is that my message has always been kind of encompassed in one song.
Yeah.
And I tried to really even just like touch a lot of points in my life just in little spaces of the song. So it's almost like that song is the encompassment of Sincerely Collins. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's almost like the representation of it. So at least at the time that I wrote it.
Yeah.
Now there'll be another song. You know what I mean? That's kind of a little bit more eclectic maybe because I've learned more. You know, I brought in more experience. But at the time, that was really what I was embodying, and getting my daughter on the end of that song was.
That was your daughter?
Yeah.
The little kid's voice at the end?
That was my daughter. And putting her at the end was just like, it was magical. That's what really got the kids. Like, that's what really, really got the kids. Like, oh man, like, I get so many emails, messages, DMs, like, with people sending me pictures and videos of their kids just singing my song.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just absolutely beautiful to see, like, to just see what the energy of a song can do as far as reaching people and the magic of it and the intangible things that you can't, only an artist really gets to see.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's deep.
That song was the encompassment of all that into one song, and I just wanted to make something that was positive for the people.
Yeah, it's really good. So, who is Kyle Collins? I know there's Sincerely Collins and Kyle Collins. How would you describe yourself? I know you probably get asked that a lot, but who are you? Who is Kyle Collins?
You know, it's funny. It's hard to differentiate the two these days.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot harder to differentiate the two when your name is in your stage name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then you start to live it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that's also why it's Sincerely, because it's like, I'm just trying to give me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say Kyle Collins is a very, very love-driven, spiritual, knowledge-seeking. I'm that person who's just like over-observant, always trying to find out everything about everything.
Yeah.
I want to know more. I want to expand my consciousness. Like that's really like that's the biggest thing about me is just expanding my consciousness. Like the one of the main things that people know me for is just not being afraid to just jump into anything.
Yeah.
Even if I don't know what's going on, jump into it fearlessly.
Wow.
In order to learn about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I come out of it with that as a part of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm ever growing, ever changing, but my spirituality, my faith and my seeking for love and compassion on the planet, I would say that's really what that's really what the essence of my personality kind of intends. You know what I mean?
And I feel like you're doing it even watching your following. It's so many different people. You've got all different races that rock with you.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're really walking in your purpose. And you're not just an artist, but you're someone who people can look up to and connect to. And I love how you're about the community, because that's really important.
Yeah, I think that's important also. I think that I never really saw someone around here when I was growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me and my manager talk about Michael Polak, who like runs like the east side as far as like all the property and stuff. And like, you know, other than seeing like him like being kind of an inspiration like with a face in Phoenix, there isn't very many people who you just can like look at and be like, man, that's the hometown hero right there.
I can agree with that.
You know what I mean?
We have that,
And there's just a void to be filled, and like I'm just up for the task. You know what I mean? Like so many people, like they're afraid of success because they know that there's a lot that comes with it. It might be subconsciously afraid, but they're afraid. You know, I've been in situations where, you know, I've seen people about to just have their life changed, and they just do something to mess it up just because they're afraid.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So. When it comes to like the philanthropy and just like being a community person, and it's really, I mean, I don't even want to take credit for it, because it's just like one of those things where it's just like, I feel like it's just my responsibility. You know what I mean? It's my responsibility. I don't even want to take too much credit, you know?
Yeah. So being an artist, I know that there's challenges that come with that. What was one of the hardest parts in your music career?
One of the hardest parts early on, I would say, would be, relationships. Yeah. Relationships are tough when you're making music. Especially when you don't really have like backing, and you're not just like, you know, it's not like you have like someone who's got like a label and a budget, or someone who's like a Justin Bieber, like you get found and like someone pushes you up until you get signed. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
If it's not like that, and it's just like a constant grind. Yeah. There's so many battles. You know, there's so many battles. So. Yeah. I would say relationships early on was like one of those things where it's like, do you choose music or family, or you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. Yeah. I slept in the studio for 2 years of my life after me and my girlfriend broke up.
Wow.
I slept in the studio for 2 years, literally just to like, I'm done. Like fuck it, I'm doing what you know what I mean? Like like I'm done. I'm doing this music thing. You know what I mean? And it happened, you know, and I went in that studios and just pounded it out for 2 years and came out and I got rewarded for it, you know. And so
that's good. That's deep. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What advice could you give to maybe the young man or woman that is trying to do music but they feel kind of discouraged?
I would say study, because there's so many people who want to, how do I put this? They want to start running before they tie their shoes.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
They want it right now.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not wrong to like, I'm not saying don't make music, but you know what I mean, before you study the music. But what I'm saying is that understand why people do the things they do, and why people are in the positions that they are, why people say the things they say. Study each aspect of your favorite artist, and really try to develop the understanding of from the inside out of their psyche. You know what I mean? Like what's going on inside to get that result. That's something that
some great advice.
I subconsciously tapped into without really knowing that I was doing it. Now I can look back and say, oh, that's what I was doing when I was studying these people. But I would subconsciously just like really, like I would watch like Kanye in the studio, Jay-Z making blah, blah, blah. Like I would just watch all these people and just watch them make music and be like, oh, so that's how you come up with this process. Oh, so that's how, you know what I mean? Like just, like, oh, like you just learn all these things and you're just like, man, like if I didn't sit here and just like geek out for 4 hours, there's so many things I wouldn't know. And I did that for like 6 years, like every day. You know what I mean? So study. You got to go into that fortress of solitude and just like know your craft, know what you're doing it for, know who you're doing it for. And then when you have purpose, that's when you can go. When you find the purpose, like even if the purpose is like, I want to make money for my family, and you know what I mean? Like know that that's your purpose so that you're not pretending when you go, you know what I mean?
That's deep. That's super deep.
No doubt.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna freestyle for him really quick. No, I'm just kidding.
It'd be nice. Take a beat.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
It's a good question. I feel like there's a lot of ways to answer this. Well, right now, I'm just working on a lot of music.
Yeah.
A lot of music. This
Got
is
some
probably
stuff cooking. Okay.
Yeah, this is probably the most music that I've had stacking up without dropping anything ever.
Yeah.
Really, because I haven't gone over a year without dropping an album, and now it's been a year and 3 months since I dropped the Phoenix. So
yeah.
People are getting antsy now. It's actually so dope. Like it's so dope to know that people are antsy.
Yeah.
Because I remember being, 19 years old and just trying to get people to listen. Just on like MySpace and shit.
MySpace music.
On MySpace, trying to get people to listen. Like trying to get people to just say something about it. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Did you hear what I said? Like, now people are like inspired by it. Now people are. I'm changing people's lives because of it. It's like.
Yeah.
So.
It's big.
But back to the question. I like to go on rants. As far as what I'm working on, just tons of music, and we're just learning exactly how we want to like sort it out right now.
Yeah.
And just coming up with these like, I'm just in the mode for coming up with plans to accomplish the things that need to get done in the world. I'm past the like self-accomplishment thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I reached the self-accomplishment thing. I have more to do as far as that, but in the meantime, what are my goals 10 years from now? Where do I want to be? What are my goals 5 years from now? So I want to set myself up with the music. I want to set myself up for what I'm going to be doing then.
Wow, that's good.
So that's kind of what we're plotting on now.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff like with the kids, a lot of philanthropy stuff, and a lot of the music that I'm making will go hand in hand with that stuff.
All right.
If that makes sense. So we're trying to figure out how to package it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what is something that you want the world to remember about you when you leave this earth?
I want them to remember just exactly how much drive, passion, enthusiasm, dedication, longevity, patience. I want them to know how much of all of that I put into my life.
Yeah.
I want them to understand that, but I want them to understand that all of that was done with the purpose of helping them.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that is done with the purpose of helping the planet, of helping other people to just really not be as scared, you know what I mean? Not be as fearful, you know? So I just want them to take from me that it's not, you don't have to be afraid to try. You know, so many people are so afraid to try, and they're so afraid to fail, and they're so afraid for people to see them mess up, or for people to see them do something that's not of good quality. You have to put out so many bad things in order to do something good.
That's
you know,
good.
so
really
just the hard work, the effort, the dedication, and the intent. I want people to know that, and for it to inspire them to do the same. That's it.
That's good.
You know.
So well said.
Yeah.
So before we go, do you have any closing thoughts or anything that you want to share?
Let me think. I feel like I should. I do. I think that on the subject of just Phoenix, I think that I'm here for a reason. I think that Phoenix is one of the most lower vibrating states in the United States. You know, people come here to die. You know, like people come from the East Coast. You know,
when they retire.
Yeah, they come here to retire.
Here.
They come here to retire and die. So what's the energy of here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and not only that, you know, we're a red state. We're completely Republican. There's so much racism.
Yeah.
And I just feel like in Phoenix we need to learn to work together more. Phoenix is just a very, very low vibrating state. Yeah. And I've been on the East Coast. I live in Baltimore also, and I see the way their community works. I see the way that the economy works. I see the way that people work together.
I think there's more support out there.
Yeah, small businesses, like you can, it's hard to explain it, but you can actually see that the community of the people is an organism itself. It works the same way our body works as an organism. Yeah. The cells in it, it works together with itself to make the city happen the way it's supposed to. Yeah. You know what I mean? In Phoenix, there's a very stale energy.
Yeah, it's hard to find support.
I get off the plane and I feel it. I'm very empathetic. I can feel everything. I can feel people's energy. I get off the plane and I feel that I'm in Arizona. And I'm a very, very naturally high vibrating person. Yeah. And I feel like I'm here literally almost as like a sacrifice, to sacrifice my natural high vibration in order to pull people up. You know? So with that being said, I just want everybody who also has the light, who also wants to raise the vibration, like we need to all come together and just really, really raise the the communion of our community. Really, really raise the participation and the cooperation and the cross promoting and the you know, we've come a long way, because I remember 10 years ago, you know, Phoenix was like one of those states where you go to one person and they're like, yeah, man, everybody's a hater in Phoenix. I heard blah, 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 blah. And then you go over here and they're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And they're all talking about the same people. It's not as much like that anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? Things have gotten a little bit more respectful, a little bit more, you know, like, you know, the hippies moved in a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But with that being said, like, we got to amp it up. Like, it's like things are getting crazy in this world. Yeah. And we have to amp it up. Like, love wins only, so it doesn't make sense to resist it. Yeah. You know, no matter how hurt you are, because I know we're all hurt. Like, we're all just trying to get out of our hurt. We're all trying to evolve from that. No matter how hurt you are, though, love always wins. So if love always wins and you resist it, it's just gonna hurt more when love wins. Yeah, that's you know good. What I mean? So I'll leave on that.
All right, let's write a book now. You need a book or something.
Right? I actually wrote a book. We'll talk about that off camera.
Okay, is that dropping soon or?
A little bit, a year or so.
Yeah, I want to thank you for coming, and the fact that you're so humble to support me. Like, even you being here is showing that you're about community and supporting people.
Of course. And I think you are awesome too. I think you are wonderful at this. I watched some of them, so that's why I wanted to come.
Thank you.
Tyler showed me you, so.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of Coffee with Tara. Hearing Kyle's story and just how passionate he is about music in the community. Hope you guys subscribe and share his story.
Love is the answer, but I don't remember the question. Just out of spite, I should go ahead and teach you a lesson. You may not pick up the phone, but I'll leave you a message. Everything that you've been taught is a liar, a cover up. I was like you when I was coming up. Problem is that we don't know enough. Now I'm like